What is up, everybody? This is T Mills Productions, the podcast. I am once again with my brother, aka a member of the YouTube channel, Two Boys. Go check them out. It's a
Well,
YouTube channel all about memes mixed with Fortnite. They're actually really, really good, and they're actually really funny.
he
So, yeah, huge shout out to him.
coming out with a Sea of Thieves. This is our next game. We'll be posting that first video probably coming up this next weekend.
There it
Just a little
is.
plug there. Go check it out on YouTube, everybody.
Sadly,
All right.
I have not been posting lately. Sorry to everyone that's watched my videos. Right now schooling and my sports is not like helping out with anything with timing, so I definitely am caught up in my academics and athletics for now, but as soon as I'm out of school, I'll definitely have more time. So for anyone that is out there that watches my videos and listens to this podcast, I'll be back to my videos and probably hopefully through in 3 months. So alrighty, so let's get started with this podcast.
All right. So what we got today for our topics, we got the big trade that happened today with Dallas and the Knicks. I mean, talk about big trades. The trade
Oh my
rumors
god.
for AD and the Lakers. I mean, the trade deadline's coming up, and this is what makes the NBA exciting. You know. And then
Yeah.
finally, we'll be talking about the NBA All Star game. The reserves came out, and then the All Star came out total. And we'll be talking about the whole voting system as well. All right, to start, thoughts on this trade that went down today?
I'm gonna be honest, dude, for a second, when I first seen it on I first seen it on the social media page Instagram, and I seen it on somebody's page, and I almost thought it was fake at first, not
Yeah,
gonna lie, because it seems so extreme and just so whacked, like crazy sounding. And then when it actually when I actually got a notification from ESPN and Roto World, go check out Roto World. It's a really good app, everyone. But uh when that notification came in, I was actually like extremely surprised.
you know,
But
and
sort of makes
this is
sense
funny
though.
though too. This is funny too because I was scrolling through everything, and it popped up. You know, Adrian, always has little reports here or there.
Yeah.
And he does a report that Kristaps Porzingis is unhappy with the Knicks. All right, so I saw that. I kept scrolling. I'm like, okay, he's unhappy with the Knicks. Like, come summertime, free agency, he'll leave. And then I go up and I refresh the page, and then boom, it says Kristaps Porzingis is traded from the Knicks. And I was like, nah, this is like some lie, like there's no way. And it says deal that entailed Dennis Smith Jr., DeAndre Jordan, Matthew Barnes, right, and then a first round pick. Or first round pick was the Knicks, but
Wesley Matthews.
yeah, Wesley Matthews.
But
I mean,
no, I think okay, so I could have understood if like the Knicks wanted to get rid of Kristaps for like one or two players from Dallas,
yeah,
but like because he's not obviously he's gonna probably be out for the season. They don't really even know it once he comes back how good of like um like how big of a position he's gonna
impact.
give. Yeah, impact. There we go. And I could see where they're coming from, but to have a like four people from each team get traded like that,
Yeah, we don't see that
that's
very
gonna
often.
that's a huge difference. Like
Yeah,
the team bond, like that's gonna be hard on everyone now too, because
yeah,
like trying to get to know how everyone plays around you and stuff, that takes a couple months already. And being midway through the season like it is now, you're gonna have there's definitely gonna be some mishap because Yeah, that's just
Well,
it's
the
gonna be a
players coming
mess.
over is what Tim Hardaway Jr. and Trey Burke and Kristoff, right? I got
Yep.
that right. And no
Oh,
offense to
and
Trey
Courtney
Burke
Lee.
and Courtney Lee. No offense to Courtney Lee, Trey Burke, and Tim Hardaway Jr., but those three players are used to that Knicks system and to hop right into that Dallas. Like Dallas is putting together a decent season,
Yeah,
and now you throw those three players in there who are not used to a program that's trying to turn things around. They're used to a program that's basically tanking, you know.
I'm kind of honestly,
And
I'm really, really confused though of why the GM for Dallas would even want to go through with this trade, seeing how positive of an impact those players were actually giving to the team.
exactly.
And that makes, dude, I'm pretty sure, and you can correct me on this because I have nothing in front of me, but aren't Dallas Mavericks in, don't they have a potential for being in the playoffs right now? Aren't they like
I
in
mean,
like
they're
top 8 seeds?
nope, they're 11th seed right now, but
Oh,
they're only
wow.
but in the East though, they're only like 4 games behind. I mean, in the West is like such a wild conference right now. Like it's either you're up here, you're at 20 wins, you're at like 20 mid 20 wins, and then the next thing you
Well,
have is like
I guess,
Suns.
a lot of the teams in the NBA itself, they're all really close to 500.
Yeah,
There's only like the
everyone's
top
riding
like,
hard.
yeah, it's only like the top two teams from each conference that like really have like that are like not
High
that,
30s.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
and there's not very much like super low winning teams as much as there usually is. Usually there's more than
Exactly,
one.
yeah.
And right now it's like only Cleveland and it's the Suns
Uh-huh.
basically. And that's like Dallas if they can honestly put together a playoff run if they keep winning and if they had a successful season, you know. But I think you take this whole trade that happened and it's like you're starting at the beginning of summer again,
Exactly.
because you just
Exactly.
lost point guard who's used to everything. You just lost your shooting guard who's used to everything, and now you had a center that was making a huge impact to everything. You just took him right out of the picture.
Exactly.
I mean, blows me away. And I see what they're trying to get at. With Porzingis, because Porzingis has a whole bunch of potential. He honestly does. He's a great player, no doubt. And him and Doc Nick could probably make something happen. But then I see a report that Porzingis is looking to leave after 1 year of being there. He's already.
Where's
I saw that on a Bleacher Report
wait, where would
posted
he
that
go?
free agency.
What?
Exactly. So that's what I'm like. There's no. I hope that's not true because that would just be absolutely insane at this point. You
I'm
know.
gonna be honest. I think that if you make a contract with a player, say it's 4 years, a 4 year contract, like for example, I think that that player should have that contract stuck to that team for that 4 years. I think that there should not be like, I think that trading in the NBA is so wild because there's no such thing as the word loyalty in the NBA anymore because
Exactly.
everybody's just flying around and not like getting like used to like the environment that they're in, that they're literally just having to like culture after culture, change after change, and like just not getting to know like everything that's around them. And I think
Exactly.
that's kind of unfair to like the players themselves.
Well, just saying. Why do you think Golden State is where they're at? They don't play that trading game as much. I mean, they used the free agency, no doubt, but they didn't trade around. They got their three core players with Draymond, with Steph, and with Clay, and they just been able to build around them from there. And they found players who could step into that kind of realm.
Yeah, I guess that's
I
not really
mean,
where I'm going with it. I'm
I
saying like,
well, I understand you're saying that they just trade so much, and there is no loyalty to one team. But I'm saying if they're if they were to stick together, if they were to, kind of put their foot down on the trades, then they could build. You could build a dynasty. You know,
Yeah.
this creation of super teams is what is.
Well, see,
killing.
Travis, the problem is though, like, the problem is I don't think the NBA understands that you can actually develop like underrated, like a player that's only averaging like say 15 points a game, and they can develop him to be an all-star. It's just what I'm saying is they're not like teams are just they're not taking the time to create all-stars. They're just trying to live in the moment and find that all-star.
They don't want to take the time, like you said, take the time to create one. They're looking for those now players, those players who are good now, and they have breakout games. There you go, and it is a problem. I absolutely agree with that. And like I said, super teams is the problem, and everyone says, "Well, Golden State did it first." Golden State didn't do it first. The Lakers did it first. Miami Heat did it first. The Celtics did it first. So much teams have done it before. The Golden State Warriors.
I would say probably the first one was either the Bulls.
You could say the Bulls. Yeah, you could say the Bulls did it, for God's sake. Like
even Detroit. Detroit did it.
Yeah, you're absolutely. Super teams is not a bad thing. It makes a villain in the league, and every single thing needs a villain. And guess what? Villains, they usually do fall. They usually do. You know what I mean? Freaking LeBron James is 3-6 in the finals because his super teams that he's built have crumbled. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like this trade that happened today, it was a huge impact to both teams. The Knicks are just in total rebuild mode. I think they have some good steps now for the players that they have, because Dennis Smith Jr. is a good player. DeAndre Jordan, and I think Wesley Matthews is going to get kind of the spotlight that he deserves now too, because they don't have any good shooting guard small forwards there. They don't. They have Kevin Knox, and he's nothing really special.
That's the sucky part though, because I actually liked Tim Hardaway at Knicks.
Too. He was doing great for.
Gave him a spotlight too.
And everyone
now that he's at the Mavericks, he ain't gonna get that much because first of all, he's gonna have Doncic in the way, and he's gonna have Luka in the way. He's gonna have who else is over there now?
Well, he's gonna have Barnes too.
Comes back. Yeah, he's gonna have Harrison Barnes in the way.
Well, I would hope they play Tim Hardaway Jr. at shooting guard. They keep Doc Nick at small forward and put Harrison Barnes at the power forward position.
Yeah.
It's just kind of play around with the rotation. Hopefully they just stick it out to him, because Tim Hardaway Jr. deserves to play. Courtney Lee, not as much as him. Obviously, Trey Burke, not as much, obviously. But if any of those other players that deserve to play, it better be Tim Hardaway Jr. Because he's been balling.
Oh my gosh! I just realized who they're gonna put at point guard.
Well, JJ Barea, right?
Yeah, that's literally who they're gonna put.
Exactly. Like, they better be smart with the way they do these things, because they kind of already dropped that bombshell on everybody, and now it's kind of time for them to play their cards smart, because they have a good deck. It's just now it's time to play their cards right.
Yeah.
I mean, they can do. They have decent management there, but it just worries me. I'm worried that they have something building up and that they're going to just kind of really drop a bomb on everybody and not really play through with it correctly.
Yeah. I see where you're. Yeah, I know what you're saying. They're going to end up putting players in positions that are either going to anger them and make them want to leave, or they're going to put players at positions that they're not going to be like ready for. Like, I feel like they're going to honestly end up putting like a player for some godforsaken reason above JJ Barea, who's a veteran in the NBA who could be that starting position, or they're gonna put some stupid like player in for Tim Hardaway.
Yeah,
Like,
they're just not gonna be smart with everything.
and if they do, kudos to them. But I can just see it coming right now that it's not gonna work.
And you know what that means is you bring in Porzingis, you have Doc who is a rising star, no doubt, and those two are like the next, quote unquote Dirks, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's waiting for a new era in Dallas, and now the new era is supposed to be here. And if they don't produce, you know, fans are gonna fade away. Porzingis is not gonna want to stay. The star players are not gonna want to stay. They're gonna want to move on. I think Doncic might stay there his whole career. I could see that happening, right?
I could,
I think
but
it's more
easily,
of a home team
easily
kind of thing. But if you're in this league, if you're in this culture, if he likes to learn anything from anybody else, he'll see that being traded away and calling for free agency is a good thing. So, you know what I
yeah.
mean? It's getting ridiculous, as like you said, and that kind of leads us to our next subject, which is Anthony Davis, right?
Yeah, I don't
In your
know.
opinion,
Honestly, they
in your
I can see where he's coming from, where he wants to be traded, just because he's been cooped up in New Orleans, where people have gotten traded in and out of that place like freaking rag dolls. But
But
I
here's the problem, though. Here's the problem with that is because DeMarcus Cousins wanted to stay there. It was the management that got rid of him,
yeah,
right? And that's what my problem is. Is DeMarcus and him could have built something really, really good, and it's because the management didn't handle the situations correctly. Now, do you agree with him getting fined for coming out publicly about it?
well, I would say yes, because it is like NBA is also a business as it is like
Hey, you're really muffled right now, man.
huh?
Really muffled right now.
I will say that the NBA, even though it's a game, it's still also a business and it's very professional. So I would say that he would have to, yes, it would be more work to leave it up to his manager to come out with it.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, but I mean, in that spectrum, he would, like, professionally, he should have left it to like his manager and the staff there to come out with it before he did.
Yeah.
So I
Well,
mean, yes, in a way,
I look
but
at it as like it's something you deal with like behind closed doors.
yeah, exactly.
Like to come out and say I don't want to play here anymore. That's pretty childish. That's like what Kawhi did, and I don't agree with what Kawhi did either.
Yeah,
Except Kawhi was like mixed feelings. He would say that he would want to be there, then he would say, "Oh no, I'm a Spur for life," and all this BS. So, I mean, what do you think though? The Pelicans took him out of their introduction video, and they basically have like shunned him. I mean, do you agree with that,
I don't
or
blame them. My gosh.
I don't blame you. Like people are flipping out, like saying, "How dare the Pelicans do that to him after all he's done for them?" I don't really care. If I was a Pelicans fan, I would be livid at this point.
Well, dude, that's
If
like literally us. That's like us, like living in Detroit with Andre Drummond saying, after he's been playing with us all these years, and all of a sudden saying, "I hate this city. I don't want to play here anymore."
exactly,
That
I don't see how people could stick up for that.
exactly. I would, dude. I would hate Andre. Like, I would hate him like that fast.
Exactly, like all the respect I had for him, it don't really matter what he did for the city because at that point it's all invalid. Because he
Exactly.
doesn't really care about the city as much as you want him to believe in the city and care about the city. You know, and that's just like, I don't know, when I see like the jersey burning things, I don't blame them. Honest to God, the ones that I see like people like do like thank you or whatever, like I don't see how you could thank them at this point. Like maybe in the retrospect, yes, you could thank them, but at the time right now, I would happily burn my jersey. You know what I mean? As bad as it
Yeah.
sounds, I just it's a very annoying situation, and then this whole LA thing comes up, and it's just a big old headache. Like,
I know. Honestly, I don't. If he's foolish enough, let him go. But I don't think he's gonna be dumb enough to go to Lakers.
I don't think he wants to live underneath someone else's shadow like LeBron.
Yeah.
I
There's
think.
there's already so much talent there that I don't think he wants to be like that fourth wheel there.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. Maybe it might happen. All right. This is a little scenario I've kind of thought of. Is they don't trade him. They don't trade him right now. You know, because the Pelicans don't want to trade him. So let's say they don't trade him at all, and come summertime, you know, free agency will come up. The Lakers decide to not sign all these dudes to clear up, you know, cap space,
Yeah.
and then Anthony Davis decides he doesn't want to show up there, goes somewhere else, and now they have a bunch of non-players there, but they have a bunch of money, and they don't have like then they have to like you know end up signing a bunch of mediocre players. Then it'll turn out to be like another Cleveland,
Yeah.
right?
I mean,
That's just something I think might happen, but same time, Lakers do have a good following. They have Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson does a really good job as a manager. Not gonna lie.
yeah.
Right.
I mean, I think no. I think Travis. I think that LeBron's gonna end up signing back. I think Rajon will probably end up signing back.
Well, yeah, they have contracts there. They have big contracts there too. I'm talking about like
Exactly.
you know, Lonzo Ball's contracts coming up, Ingram's contracts coming up. You know, Kuzma as well. All these like other smaller, younger talents. Their contracts coming up. Are the Lakers gonna be smart enough to re-sign them, or they're gonna say no, we're looking for bigger talent,
They
like Paul
probably will.
George or something stupid like that.
They honest like I said, because of how the NBA is currently, they're gonna most likely try looking for some bigger player.
Well,
Ah,
I think it's more of like because of how LeBron is, because that's how LeBron's always been able to dictate stuff. You know, he's always been able to form people around him, which is not bad, but it's just it's getting old, and hopefully by the time he retires, that style's gone. You know,
it's not gonna be. It's gonna be worse, Travis.
I would love to see it kind of disappear though. I know it's not going to. You know, and I'm excited to see like these different like partnerships like join up, like you know PG and Russell Westbrook. I'm loving that right now. It's
Oh,
awesome to watch them play, huh?
I said, oh heck yeah. Well,
I love watching it. Or like you know the twin, like they call it the Twin Towers, Andre and Blake Griffin. Love watching those
uh,
two play. Like that's what I love to see build up. And the way LeBron plays is nope. I don't want to see those guys build up. I want to see everyone build up around me, and I
yeah.
despise that.
Well, okay. Getting off of this rant, going back to Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
You know, for right now, I'm kind of liking Anthony Davis out. The only reason why is because you got the other guy behind him who wanted that spotlight, Jaleel Okafor.
Yeah.
And my God, this kid, and I knew it was gonna happen because he's got freaking talent. He knows his like role on the team, and he knows his position well. And as soon as he got, I think it was in like the last 5 games, he's been averaging like I think around 20 points and like 10 boards.
Yep. And 3 rebounds. And 3 blocks.
Yeah,
And people
that's
also
yeah.
tend to forget too is they also have someone called Nikola Mirotic on the bench because he's injured, right?
Yeah, well, I think cool thing is, once Nicola comes back and Alfred Payton comes back, they're gonna have their own little big three team kind of building up.
They still have a team there.
Because
Anthony Davis is a great part of it, but they still have a team there.
I was gonna say, Travis, they're gonna have Alfred Payton, Drew Holiday, Nikola Mirotic, Jahlil Okafor, and all they're gonna need left is some good power forward, which they do have. They have Julius Randle.
Yeah, well, or you could say, Okafor is at the center position. Mirotic, you could put him at the power forward, and then you could just put one of your, other guys at small forward. But they can play around with that. They'll be fine. They're fine without Anthony Davis. I honestly believe that. Now, I don't know if they're going to be making playoffs this year because they are pretty low in the league. I mean, for the West, but they definitely are not in tanking position. They're not going to be like Chicago Bulls level or anything. They're fine. They're still floating. They're still showing that they have talent, and hopefully it's something that they can build off of for the next year.
Yeah.
Right. And it's just like the player dependency on just him. It's like if Kemba Walker was to leave Charlotte. He leads the team, right? Guaranteed, though, we would see more and more players step up and kind of make a thing for themselves, or we'd see more team basketball. Kemba,
definitely.
it's like that's just something I think people that all lean on that one player.
Yeah, Kemba gets so much possession of the ball that other players don't get the proper attention that they need.
Well, if you put Malik Monk he's a good player too, like that. I think if he had the ball more, you'd see big numbers from him all the time. I think if you saw Jeremy Lamb with the ball more, he would put up big numbers too. Like the player dependency on just Kemba's all this, Anthony Davis is all that, and so on and so forth. I think that's kind of an issue. Like team basketball needs to be more of a thing, and just quit leaning on one player to do all the work. Because then once they leave, what are you going to do? It's very, it's frustrating. It's frustrating basketball. It's just the way it is. And
well, all right.
It's hard to watch as a fan.
In summary, I am disagreeing on Anthony Davis with his attitude, but I am agreeing on the different rotation for the Pelicans. What's your summary?
My summary is I don't agree with what he did either. I think it was pretty much bullcrap to come out and say he didn't want to be there, and to everyone hopping on this Lakers train. And if you're a New Orleans Pelicans fan, you'll be fine. Don't worry about your program. Don't worry about your franchise.
Yeah.
There's better things to come in New Orleans, no doubt. Maybe even Super Bowl next year.
That's what that's why that's why I wanted to sum it up, because I wanted to move on to this whole freaking crazy reserve thing going on with the All-Stars.
Yeah.
Because I honestly do not understand how this voting works.
Yeah. I don't either. I think I don't get it either. I don't know. The fact they've turned it into this mess of vote for your favorite player. Then you have players like Derrick Rose and like Dwayne Wade up there. And
they both got, I'm pretty sure, I don't know, pull up the numbers real quick.
They got over 2 million votes. Dwayne Wade was third in voting for the East, and Derrick Rose was fourth.
Exactly.
Still top 5. Yeah, somehow, some way, you don't see none of those names inside the All-Star game. BS. Absolute BS. And I understand they say, well, D Wade is not an All-Star because, well, they just want to see him one more time in an All-Star game. I get that.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking.
And that's okay with me because if you put in that much work that he did for this freaking league, you deserve to be in the All-Star game one last time. One last dance, for God's sake.
How do I say this? I wasn't excited to see what he could give. I was just excited to see like what he was gonna end his career on.
Yeah.
Because it's his last year, or I don't know. Probably it is. He's always been.
I mean, he's made a big deal of it being his last year. I would think he wouldn't pull out on it, but I just like players like him deserve that kind of goodbye because he is a player. I just you won't have another one like him for a while, in my opinion. He's just one of those generational players, You're muffled again.
Like that's gonna, oh my gosh, that's gonna really. I am so mad about that. I don't know what to do because, like, seriously, I really wish I could do something about it because that is such crap that they would not have Derrick Rose in the All-Star reserves.
Yeah.
That is the biggest bull crap ever.
Well, him, Devon Mitchell is another one who is putting up great numbers this year. Don't care about him, right? I mean, Andre Drummond was another one that got stumped out of it. Ben Simmons is in there, for God's sake. I mean, was he playing good basketball? Yeah, but All-Star level, I don't think so. I mean, maybe I'm biased. I don't enjoy. I don't like him.
I think one of the things that probably hurts me the most is Derrick Rose with his numbers. Each stat he was either 1, 2, or 3 points from each stat from his points per game, assists per game, and rebounds per game. He was only 1, 2, or 3 off from his MVP season.
Yeah, here's the stats right now. Ready?
That's the crazy part.
19 points per game, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal. He was 48% from the field, 41% from the point line, 85% free throw. All right, that's coming from the guy who's 30 years old, who everyone said it was done. All right.
Exactly.
And then here's the thing. Here's Ben Simmons. 16 points per game, 9 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 steal. Is that all-star caliber? I don't think so. I
would say okay. So yes, he's averaging like semi close to a triple double, but the numbers for the points really aren't there. I mean, for God's sakes, he's 6'10". He should be getting boards. Like the assist thing is kind of impressive, but with the steals, the fact that Derrick Rose is getting almost the same steals as this kid who's probably like 10 years younger than Derrick, that mind boggles me because literally Derrick Rose, he is, I do believe, 2 points away from his MVP season. He is 1 assist, if I remember, away, or no, he's 2 assists away from his MVP season. He's 1 board away from his MVP season, and he's 1 steal, or like 0.5 steals away from his MVP season. Like, this is like what you would call like his prime is almost back, and that seems impossible to say because obviously you have your prime time and it leaves you, but like he's coming back to like his normal type of playing.
Yeah,
And it
well,
just
you want to hear another thing that irks me is Ben Simmons got in there, but who also didn't go in there is D'Angelo Russell. Ready for this stat line?
exactly.
Ready for this? 20 points per game, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 43% from the field, 80% free throw line. And 37% from the 3-point line.
And did he? What votes did he get for the All Star? Did he get votes?
He barely got on there, barely. I
That's
mean,
not. That's what I'm saying though, Travis.
it's a
Like, was
popularity
there?
contest, but it's not at the same time.
What?
It's a popularity contest, only to a point though, because they say, "Oh, vote, vote, vote," but then after that voting is done, if your guy is in the top 2, whatever the heck it is, then oh well, and then they go by, oh well, most NBA analysts love Ben Simmons, so let's pick him, instead of D'Angelo Russell or someone else that deserves it.
Who was in the top 10 for the All Star reserves for the West? Give me the list.
The top, the next 5 or whatever.
Just give me the top 10. Just literally the top 10.
All right, the 5 reserves for the West are.
No, Travis.
Yes.
Give me that voting list.
Oh, 1 minute here. I gotta pop that back up really quick here.
Yeah, give me like the top 10 on the voting list for the West.
All right.
It was so funny.
Let's see here. I didn't actually have numbers up like that. The top 10 for the West were. Oh, wait, that's the first return. 1 minute. How am I not finding?
All right, well, what I was trying to get my point to is I was trying to see who was in the top 10 to see like who made it that was in that top 10 voting and
Yeah.
who didn't get it. And I bet you $1,000,000 the only person besides Luka Doncic, the only person that was in that top 10 for lists was
Derrick Rose.
probably Derrick Rose.
Yeah, and that's what I just pulled it up. Top 10 were LeBron James, Luka Doncic, Steph Curry, Derrick Rose, Paul George, James Harden, Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, Anthony Davis, Klay Thomas, Steven Adams, Damian Lillard, Nikola Jokic.
Was Steven Adams in the reserve?
Nope.
Okay,
You know who
so
is though? Is LaMarcus Aldridge.
Huh.
Yep. So don't tell me that it's about voting. Don't tell me that if I vote, I get to see my favorite player there. It's not that. It's whoever the NBA wants to see in there. It's whoever is going to get the most people to watch their games. Right?
Yeah.
And
Because definitely Steven Adams got robbed, which really takes me off because oh my gosh, he's incredibly underrated on OKC and in the West. And Derrick Rose got definitely freaking robbed, which will heat me till this day. Ugh, I don't.
Another player that no one really cared about again, which was Rudy Gobert. Another one. Rudy Gobert, 15 points per game, 13 rebounds per game, 2 assists, almost 3 blocks, 1 steal. I mean,
wasn't he voted defensive player of the year like a year or two ago?
Last year.
My God. Then give him some dang recognition by putting him in the All-Star game.
Oh, Yeah, no, another guard who could have been in place for Ben Simmons was Michael Conley. Mike Conley, 20
My
points per
God.
game, 4 rebounds per game, 6 assists, 1.5 steals, and then he's shooting above 40%, 44% from the field.
I don't know.
I mean,
This is where you
wait,
can definitely say safely that
but
the
Mike
NBA
Conley's
is.
not, the NBA's what?
I said this is where you can say safely that the NBA is rigged.
Yeah, this is the one thing I would say it is rigged for. It's those views, those precious little views.
You literally have 2 million like people in the United States that are literally probably not like gonna want to even watch the NBA All Star game because they're not even gonna be able to see their favorite player in that All Star game.
Exactly. Well, here's the thing too is I think maybe that's not as true, but I think there is a lot of people who won't like people who are mostly Derrick Rose fans or Luka Doncic fans or like things like that too. I don't think people are gonna view. You know,
Yeah,
I know
but
I
Travis,
know you say Luka don't get in there because he's a rookie. I get that, but
no,
if you're
because
gonna be,
Travis, you can watch Lucas still in the Rising Star game.
I
There is
understand.
nothing else for Derrick Rose to be watched in.
I understand that. What I'm saying though is if you're gonna go on the rant about the whole voting, he was one of the top voters too, right?
Yeah, but I've always said though that first, second year players should not be allowed to be in the All Star game, no matter what numbers they put up, just because that the All Star game is honestly for veterans and not for like amateur and rookies.
Yeah, well, if you're playing like he is, I mean, I don't see him as being anything close to a freaking rookie though.
Yeah, I know, but still, like we've had in the past though, Travis, we've had those players that have put up those numbers before that didn't make it to the All Star game. That
Yeah,
literally just went into the Rising
that's-
Star challenge. I mean, not the challenge, but like the game, like the Rising Star game. Like it's happened before, so I'm not. That's the only like I would
I'm just
see
saying.
maybe
I'm just
I
saying
would
if you're gonna
see if
rant,
like I would see if there was like players in the past that made it to like the All Star game that were like rookies and second year players that made it to All Star game. That would make me mad knowing that Luca wouldn't. But because there has been a past of like that already occurring, that's the only reason why I'm not mad that Luca didn't make it.
well, I'm just saying, if you're gonna rant about players who are voted for but don't get in the game, he was a big one too. And like I said, what is the point of even freaking? What's the point of even voting if I know I'm not gonna go see my players actually play in the game? That's all I'm trying to say. You know, because De'Aaron Fox was also snubbed. Buddy Hield was also snubbed just because they had really good. They're having a great year this year. Of course, we're gonna see, you know, De'Aaron Fox in the Rising Stars game, but you know, just players like they're having great seasons.
Yeah.
We're not gonna see them because they're not popular enough. They're not on that franchise team. They're not part of the Lakers. They're not part of the big teams like the Bucks or the part of the Philadelphia 76ers. They're on that small team. They're on the Kings. That's why I'm shocked that
You said
Orlando
De'Aaron
got
Fox.
at it. Say what?
You said De'Aaron Fox and who?
Buddy Hield.
Buddy
Both of them.
Hield.
Both of them.
Wait,
Buddy Hield's
did
averaging 20
Buddy
points per.
Hield,
What was that?
did Buddy
Cutting
Hield
out.
make the Rising Star game?
No, he's a 3-year player.
Oh, okay.
You know, that's why I'm shocked that a player like the player from Orlando got part of the reserves. Whatever his name was, I keep forgetting how to say it.
Pitch.
Bekovic. But I'm shocked. That's why I'm shocked that he got into this game, is because usually, he's not a big franchise player, so why even have him on, right? That's their thoughts are usually.
Yeah.
So it shocks me. Like, what is the point of voting? Like you said, this is where I honestly agree when people say the NBA is rigged, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't think they have it rigged for who's gonna win what games. I don't
No.
believe that. But I believe in when it comes to popularity, that's what they look for they look for that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's whatever makes the most money. It's what they're gonna go for. Well, I think that makes it for the end of today's stuff. We're definitely gonna hop into more stuff coming up soon with the trade deadline coming up soon. And
Seeing
with
all the excitement.
all the excitement popping up soon. It's going to be exciting. I mean, the trade deadline is always an exciting time in the NBA season, especially with nowadays NBA. So
I don't understand how this. Okay, I might sound really, really like foolish by saying this because I like to say that I'm like that I know the NBA well and stuff, but I don't really understand how this whole trade deadline thing works because there's like so many. I feel like there's so many occurrences of the quote unquote trade deadline. There's not really such thing as an actual trade deadline.
it's just like mid-season trading, right? Because as soon as the actual season's done, there's more trading and there's more trade deadlines. It's just it's because they want to see that though. The Adam Silverstein and the NBA altogether wants to see movement in the teams. They want to see change-ups. They want to see developing stories. You know,
Yeah.
that's what my opinion is.
Yeah.
But I think that's all the time we have for tonight. We're definitely gonna be following up with all these different stories. Even if you're not posting regular videos, we'll probably keep doing the podcast, right?
Yep.
And like I said, the trade deadline coming up, we're gonna get more stuff. I guarantee it. You know, and there's now an investigation with LA getting investigated for tampering with the draft or whatever, and I mean with the trade and stuff. So we'll see if that's the actual thing, and then more things coming out with like Reggie Jackson and Blake Griffin, who's gonna leave, what kind of thing like that. So we'll slowly be following all these stuff. Anything else you gotta say?
I'm gonna say to all the viewers, that this podcast, I believe, I said last podcast that we'd be doing it every week to every other week. I think I'm gonna move it now to every month, and that actually that's gonna be helpful because that's right around the same time that we did our last podcast. So
Yeah, and
it's gonna work out better for us. So
well, even another thing too is we could say it's gonna be only one time a month, but if there's more podcasts, it's the extra bonus for you guys. So.
well, yeah, the the behind the stage kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
So all right. This has been the T Millers Productions podcast with Travis Miller, aka one of the two boys. If you wanna once again give him a shout out to go check out his channel on YouTube. And yeah, come check out my channel. I'll hopefully in about 3 months for my viewers and my for right now my 7 subscribers. Please subscribe to me. My 7 subscribers. I'll be posting in about hopefully in about 3 months as soon as I get done my schooling and I'll have a lot more downtime. So just a little future reference for everyone that listens to this. And yeah, go check out my brother's channel. Signing off.
Have a nice night.